Yeah. So I was actually really interested in the. Didn't you take like a vocal lesson with the Lapper singer?
I did.
How did that? Yeah, can you? Yeah, tell me
how-
about it.
how-
I was so interested because he's like one of my favorite singers, and I was.
Yeah, I mean,
stoked.
it was so fucking cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's funny because I don't know. Do you follow him on social media and stuff?
No, I don't.
Like, I don't know. He seemed like a completely different person to me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he seemed way more
But in what way?
like serious, or yeah, I don't know. Almost like an asshole, but not being an asshole. If that makes sense.
No, yeah, on social media though.
Yeah, exactly. But then he was so
Okay.
fucking humble, you know?
Yeah.
He was super humble, and I don't know, it was just amazing, honestly. And it felt like a chat between two friends, you know, like it was super...
Yeah.
It was super easy to talk to him, and he was super humble, and
That's
I don't know,
really nice.
like he was being vulnerable, you know, kind of.
Yeah.
And I thought that was super cool. Like, he was saying,
Yeah,
like, you know, sometimes I'm like, sorry, let me just yeah, like he was saying, you know, sometimes he gets like insecure about his vocals and stuff, you know.
What?
And,
Really?
and yeah, because you know, you're
No,
on
but
tour, and like, of course he cares about his stuff, you know, he cares about
Of course.
his performance and stuff, and sometimes he feels like it's not 100%, or like he fucked up here and there, blah blah blah. But then we were talking about not giving a fuck, basically, you know, about all this, because
No,
all these mistakes only we notice, you know.
Notice, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm always telling Kjartan, because he was like, oh, I fucked up this thing. And I was like, honey, nobody noticed.
Fucking
No
cares.
one noticed.
Yeah.
But
He was
I
giving
think
me
this
this
is
example. Like, he was touring with a band, and he saw him like 30 times or something live, right? And this one night, they were like, the other band were all like, oh my god, what a bad night, we did such a fucking awful performance, it was shit, we were shit, blah blah. And he was like, I didn't notice anything, you know. And he's a fucking great musician, you know. Like, he of course knows, you know. But still, he was just like, I didn't notice any difference, you know, with the other nights. Like, it was fucking great, like any other night, you know.
No, and
but the guys
course,
were like, oh my god, blah blah.
Yeah, but of course, like, if you fuck up, the thing is just keep on going and make it good. Because I've gone to concerts, like, for example, when Bloodbath came to Isnaflug and they played there. That was a total shit show.
Yeah.
And the only reason for that was because the vocalist let everybody know in the audience that they fucked up, you know, and that they had some problems. And
but how come? Did he say like, oh, we're fucking up, or what?
No, he said like, oh, this fucking system is fucking us up, or and
like
something like that, you know. So he was angry with everybody at the festival, like the sound guys and everything, and the audience felt it. And that's a total shit show of a performance.
Yeah, I think the guys told me about it, actually.
Yeah. No, it's just amazing when people, like, they just can't keep on going and make things good no matter what. You know?
I learned that from playing in jazz bands, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, if you fuck up, you just smile and keep going.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And that's perfectly fine. Fucking up, it's part of being a musician.
Like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. There's no fucking way you will make a perfect gig. Like, that doesn't exist.
No. And that's not necessarily what the audience wants.
No.
because I want to hear the human thing about music, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
If I want to hear a perfect fucking
Hello, sir.
a perfect fucking performance, I will listen to the album, you know.
Hold a moment.
Yeah, no, exactly. But even then,
right,
you
sir.
can still hear the human factor.
Yeah, exactly. Even then.
If I may be so.
Yeah.
Look,
So yeah,
that is
no, interesting. I just really wanted to hear how the lesson was.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a sick experience. Because
Yeah,
I
I
thought
can
it would be
imagine.
like a bit uncomfortable or awkward, you know, at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I
can
mean, the
imagine,
first
yeah.
5 seconds it was weird because you are just like seeing one of your music idols. They are in a
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
like, and with in his house with his fucking clothes drying up on the background and stuff.
Yeah. And not trying to fangirl all over yourself.
I told him like, dude, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna fangirl for a minute and then we get that out of the way. Yeah.
Exactly. No, yeah. Because after all, we're all just humans, you know. And
Exactly.
we always think it's gonna be awkward or something, but in the end, yeah.
No, but honestly, it felt like a chat between friends, and we were just chatting
Yeah.
about vocals, about what inspires us. And actually, the only thing that I consider it was a class, you know. I was talking about falsetto a bit, you know, with them.
Yeah, oh, yeah. yeah,
How to
exactly.
hold some notes, blah, blah, blah. But for me, it was more the talk and, you know, the whole talk about being confident on stage and
Yeah.
not giving a
exactly.
fucking shit about, you know, who's
No,
like who's fucking up and stuff, because it makes no sense.
No, I agree. Because yeah, he has a lot of experience. Have you ever seen them live, Leper?
Yep, 2 times.
How? Oh wow,
Yeah,
I've never seen them.
and the first time I saw him,
You want to?
the first time I saw him, I didn't even know them that much, you know. I was going to see Devin Townsend, and they were supporting them.
Oh, have you
Um,
seen Devin Townsend?
Uh-huh.
Fuck. Oh, I wish.
Yeah, and they were supporting them, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, it sounded incredible, honestly, Lepros.
Yeah.
And then I got into them. And I
Yeah.
think it was a year later that I saw them again in the same place, but with Agent Fresco supporting Lepros, and Lepros was like the main act.
Yeah, I noticed that Agent Fresco had a tour with Lepers.
Yeah,
And the thing about Lepers is when I heard them first, I was like, is this a new album from Agent Fresco? Because they sound so alike.
I feel like,
Like-
they both inspire each other, you know.
Yeah, I think so. But Agent Fresco is still it's a really good band.
Yeah, I fucking love them.
But yeah, I saw they were touring with them and I was like, this is perfect harmony.
Yeah, for sure. He was also talking
Wait.
about this, like being very good friends with Arnor and the guys in Agent Fresco.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
Yeah,
I don't know,
Arnor
it was easy to talk to him. It was amazing to see him being vulnerable. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about very
Yeah.
different stuff, and I don't know, it gives you perspective, you know, like sometimes you have this image of your music idols basically, but
Oh yeah, for sure.
they're just
yeah.
people, you know. And you know what?
Sometimes
It was
they add
super
up and
interesting
sometimes not.
because I was asking
Sorry.
him what inspires you to make music, you know. I was thinking, do you need to be super inspired in order to write all the time? Like, you need to go under certain emotional mood in order to write?
Yeah.
He was like, no, like most of the stuff I write for Lepros is completely uninspired. And I was like, what?
Oh.
And
Okay.
but then he explained me, and it makes so much sense. Like, he was like, I don't trust my emotions, you know, because if I have to
No.
trust my emotions, like, they fluctuate. I'm not
Exactly.
gonna trust that in order to write an album, you know. It makes
that's
so much
actually
sense.
a really
Like,
good point.
Yep. And that's also I consider being vulnerable. You know, he was just like, no, I was completely uninspired. Instead of like, exactly. Oh yeah, I was going through this emotion and blah blah blah, like under very dark times, and that's what I wrote. The congregation and blah blah. You know, he was just like, no, I was super fucking uninspired.
Yeah, I think we hear less of those sides, you know, that they are really uninspired, because often it's like,
but it's true.
Like you say, they're going through something, and out comes this masterpiece, you know.
I mean, so it really happens for sure sometimes, but it's not all the time.
No, yeah.
And sometimes, really, you know, life is just good, you know. Life is good.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Like, you don't write anything until you are depressed, or what? You know what I mean?
Wait for the depression.
Yeah, you're like, no, I'm just gonna try to get a new girlfriend so she can break my heart or something. You know what I mean? Like, no, exactly. Sometimes life is fucking good and you're relaxed and you're well, you know, and that doesn't mean you're not gonna keep writing music.
Yeah, it's like we have this image of the pained artist, you know, or the suffering artist.
And I mean, I think it does help, you know. It does help being in that state, for sure. At least it does for me. But I can't say neither that I only write when I'm depressed as shit, you know.
No, yeah, of course.
I'm actually, these days I'm writing a lot, and also started doing music, like retro game music.
Yeah.
With the keyboard and stuff. And I wasn't particularly inspired, you know. I was just having fun and enjoying myself writing music, you know.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's also a good thing to do, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you say, you don't have to wait for the worst part, you know.
Exactly. You know, I mean, yeah, I recognize that it helps me to write stuff when I'm, you know, going through something. Yeah, exactly.
But
it's definitely not, like, I can't depend on, you know, being fucking depressed or something, or like, I can't depend on being like, I don't know, fucked over. Yeah, exactly. No.
You would always be trying to fuck your life over.
Yeah,
you know?
Basically. And I feel like, you know, that made me think, like, some of these artists probably are just going into this self-destruction path just because it helps them, you know, create sick stuff.
Yeah, it could be, but also like people who have gone through a lot of things, they are scared of the good feelings, you know.
Yeah,
and think they can't produce anything in the good state.
Exactly.
Because it's unbeknown to them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting that he made this point.
Cheers, mate.
But yeah, it was very interesting, and how I became in contact with them was just, he said, because all the guys in Lebros normally have lessons, actually, you know.
Oh,
but
really? Okay.
He never did. Like, and it always like struck me, like, why he never gave fucking lessons.
Yeah.
This one time he was just like, hey, I'm gonna give some lessons this week. Hit me up if you want. And I just wrote him a message in Instagram.
Wow, perfect.
That's how it went, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that a lot of musicians are looking like alternative ways to make money or do something during this COVID thing?
Everyone, basically. I mean...
of course,
everyone,
of course.
And if you are not, you are failing, you know, because also there are many musicians who are like, oh no, I can't tour, so I'm fucked, you know. Well, I mean, yeah, you're fucked, but there's other stuff you can do, you know, there's streaming, there's so many different ways, you know.
Of course. And many of these musicians and like everyone, they have such a huge experience and things to teach and talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So yeah, many of them are either streaming or doing stuff for YouTube or of any other platforms. They are just writing new stuff. That's what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
That's also how I saw it. You know, like we should be touring right now, but.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean, what am I gonna do? Just sit down and fucking cry?
cry about it. Yeah, no, exactly. Be creative. And I think that's also like, I think many needed in in a sense this
some
break,
of them
you
needed to
know.
stop. Yeah, because
Yeah, yeah.
touring is fucking rough.
Oh, I can imagine. Have you toured before?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah.
And
Through
I
Europe
mean,
or
sorry.
through Europe or?
No, that's the thing. Only in Spain.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, and I can't imagine, because it was like a 2 weeks tour or something, or 10 days or something in Spain, So, but I can't imagine a fucking month, going to a whole bunch of different countries and shit.
That must be, really, it must be a good experience, but at the same time, really, really hard.
It is.
In so many aspects.
It is.
Because, I mean, some of them have like bus to sleep in, but some of them don't, and have maybe an 8-seater and have to drive through the night and everything by themselves.
I didn't, for example, I didn't have no fucking bus.
No, yeah, exactly. That's for the bigger bands, really.
Yeah.
Or better touring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we will have it at first, at
no,
all.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I wouldn't expect it, really.
No, but, I mean...
But I think there's I've seen some, like, documentaries from bands that are touring, and they have some creative ways to stick to routines and everything.
Yeah, I mean, at the end, you start doing it, I guess.
Of course,
but the first
and
tours, you are basically just trying to survive.
Yeah, exactly. And make it as comfortable as you can, really.
Yeah.
And actually, when me and Kjartan, we went to Paris to see Aborted and Cytotoxin and Benighted.
Yeah.
And they actually released like these YouTube documentaries after that tour.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day, actually. There we go.
Yeah, and the singer, for example, from Cytotoxin, he's like this monolith of a man. And he just went outside running every day. Just through the cities he was touring in. It was just to keep some routine and active, and it was really interesting.
It's super easy to just fall in the, in not doing shit, basically.
Yeah. Because touring is enough of a stress and changing situation,
So I mean, I think big props to people who, are able to work out and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm kind of happy that this whole thing is happening, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I wish I was touring for sure, but I know I'm having also a lot of fun doing this fucking Twitch thing and the YouTube stuff, and otherwise probably I wouldn't have gone very deep into it,
No,
exactly. Of course,
I
always thought of doing YouTube shit. Always. Yeah. But probably if it wasn't because of this, I wouldn't have,
No, and also maybe you wouldn't have the time.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't
to do it. Because like YouTube and streaming, I think isn't it like a second job, really?
It is, and it sucks because I would love this to be my job, but it's so unrealistic when you have another job, like a normal job, kind of.
Yeah, but also like you are fighting a lot of people for attention, and that's the thing for social media today. It's like you have to do something really outstanding, really, to catch the attention of the crowd,
It can be fucking stressing, to be honest. Although I'm not stressing much over like competing or anything, because I'm the least competitive person fucking ever, basically. So I've never been stressed about competing with other people. It's just I don't see the point, honestly. If it happens, it happens. If not, then I had fun.
Also, I don't think it's a healthy way. Like, I don't think it's a healthy goal.
No.
Just to compete with people. And when you were the podcast, no, it was the live Metal Blade series where you were speaking to Ryan. And it was such a good point that he made about the streaming thing. Like, don't do anything just to get attention. Like, only do the things you want to do.
And I mean, it's always like, don't do anything for attention. But then there's so many, I see many people talking about YouTube and stuff, and everyone is like, oh yeah, you have to be yourself. But then everyone is saying like, you need to know what your audience wants, you know? So how can I be myself and, you know, care about what people want from me, basically?
Yeah.
What if what people want from me is not any close to what I want, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And then, I think some people give under that pressure, you know, but I think you never should really.
No, and also, I mean, I'm old now, so, you know, if I was younger, it's true. If I was younger, I would probably, I don't know,
be more accepted to.
But no, people. Like I'm old now, you know, like I'm not gonna fucking start playing Fortnite now or something. No.
Wow, you always speak of yourself like you're like. Ancient,
I mean,
exactly.
I'm not too old, but I'm definitely a bit old for this whole thing, you know, of like Twitch and YouTube and blah blah.
But well, like as we can see in these past years, the age of gamers and players is rising. Like we're getting all these stories about these gamer grandmas and stuff like that. So it's really good if you like it.
But you see,
and you were talking earlier about your like, how do you say it, your presence on social media or anywhere. Me as a watcher, like the YouTube accounts, for example, that I want to watch are people that are just being honorable, are telling the truth, and have a little bit of decency. So if you're just if you're honest about your life, I think the viewers will like appreciate that more than if you put on like a show or became some kind of a character.
What I say with being old is that I just can't do the act thing, you know, like because as the older you get, the more you know yourself, the more you know what you want in life, you know, and the more basically the more you know yourself. So it's and at the end is the more honest you are to yourself, you know, and to what you want in life. So I can't put in a fucking act, you know, and do stuff that I don't, you know, that I don't feel or that I
and pretend to like things you don't really like or something.
Exactly. When you're a kid, I guess it's easier because you are still developing your personality and stuff. But now, being 32, like, no, dude, like, I know the shit that I want, you know, like, I know the stuff that I like, and I'm not gonna fucking pretend to. Also, I mean, if my life depended on it, you know, like, if it was my only income or something, you know, like. And then if they tell me, okay, you need to pretend because otherwise you're gonna fucking starve or something, then I guess I would probably do it.
Actor.
Yeah, exactly. But nah. I'm good, you know. Like.
No. Exactly.
And also, I think that's the sole reason why Cult of Lilith became any successful is because the 5 of us are doing exactly the fuck we want, you know.
Oh, hands down, yes, exactly.
And I know it's weird stuff, like not everyone is into it, you know, and but
that's
we
okay.
don't care.
Yeah, exactly. And just keep on doing the things you love, you know.
Yeah. That's the only way that it can work at all.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, if you wanna take another game, I'm up first.
Yeah, just a second. I'm finishing here. One. Oh.
No problem.
Just a second.
Got you.
No, I can also like imagine because you were like I saw on your social media the other day like the comment section on some videos and everything, and I can't imagine like how hard it must. Like some might find it hard.
I don't. I think it's funny, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well. But for like younger artists and everything, the comment section.
But then again, that's what I mean by being old. You know, like.
Yeah. Exactly. You don't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. I don't give a fuck. You know, like no. I was checking the other day. I was telling the guys like there was this Metal Blade post on Facebook of the Comatose single take video, right?
Yeah,
and there's this dude saying in the comments like, "Oh, you fucking clown," or something like that.
Yeah,
I check his profile and there's some fucking American dude with a Confederate flag on the background, you know? Like, how can I give a fuck about your opinion, you know? Like, I don't give a single shit
because all of the other opinions are so good.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I would only, like, I mean, as I said before, like, I only take criticism from people whose opinion I actually care, you know.
Yeah, and trust. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like
that's the only way to go.
Exactly. Like if Devin Townsend came to me and said, "Well, dude, your vocals fucking suck," I'd be like, "Oh, okay. Well, you know." I'll be like, you know, I will just try to change them or something.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's some fucking dude on, you know, with a fucking Confederate flag would come to me like this. I would be like, I don't give a fuck, you know.
Mhm.
And since I'm not gonna get Devin Townsend to check on my vocals, then that's fine. You know? Yeah, exactly. But for real, like I don't care at all, you know.
No, it's just I've been thinking about these comment sections. Why do they exist?
Yeah, I mean,
often I think that, but often it's a good criticism and everything.
People must give their opinion, you know, like, it's fine. It's just some people are so fucking toxic. Like, why? I mean.
No, yeah, definitely.
But what's the point, basically? You know, like.
Agreed.
I mean, like calling a completely random dude in the internet, you know.
Yeah, and they're often doing it without knowing anything about
there was some guy that he was just saying, like, I was soy boy, which apparently is a vegan,
I saw
on
that.
steroids, and I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck, dude? I don't even go to a gym at all. You know, I don't do shit. I just fucking play video games and eat. That's all I do. Literally.
Oh my god, yep.
So, yeah, it's funny, you know.
Yeah, it can be, yeah. It's strange.
Just people have no fucking clue, you know.
No. Exactly.
But
yeah,
I don't know. And it's funny also seeing people like getting super intense on the comments, like defending, you know, like
the warriors.
Like, man, why do you waste your time like that? Like such a waste of time.
It's like I think we're just so entitled to voice our opinion.
Yeah.
And believe me, I find myself guilty of that sometimes, because sometimes it's just it's a how do you say it? It's a thing that matters to you, or you are emotionally attached to some things that they are speaking about, and then you're like, am I going to take this fight? No.
Yeah.
You have to decide, really. But I think we have a much need of voicing our opinion often.
Yeah, but how is that even an opinion at all, you know?
No, exactly, yeah.
That's not an opinion, you know, that's just like puking your shit, you know, on the internet.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, you were talking about these troll comments.
The troll comments is just like, why? How is that an opinion?
That's not an opinion, exactly.